All right, let's talk about one of the most common and maybe one of the most dreaded phrases in the entire English language.
You know the one. You've heard it a million times, right? At a job interview, your first day of class, even just meeting someone new at a party. It sounds so simple, but man, it can just make your mind go completely blank.
Yeah, that feeling where your brain just freezes, it's totally normal. And hey, especially if you're learning English, it can feel extra tough. So first things first, know that you are not alone if that question gives you a little bit of anxiety.
But what if I told you there's a secret? A simple toolkit you can use to build a great introduction every single time. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to build it together. Seriously, this question is everywhere, from a super formal interview to just a casual party. Having a great answer ready isn't just helpful, it's a total game changer for your confidence, for sure.
To help us figure this all out, we're going to follow two friends, Paul and Emily. They'll be our guides, and they'll show us two very different but equally awesome ways to answer. Okay, let's start with the absolute essentials. I want you to think of these as the core building blocks for any great introduction. Just the simple, fundamental facts about who you are. See how simple and effective that is? Just look at Paul. He's a teacher from Canada, lives in a small town. Bam. And Emily, a student from the US, lives in a big city. Just one little sentence and you already have a picture in your head, right? All you have to say is, I am a, or I live in. It really is that easy to get started. And of course, you can add a little more detail, but only if you feel like it. Things like your age or whether you live in a house or an apartment, they can help round out this basic picture. But the key thing to remember is, it's always your choice what you share. Okay, now that we've got the basics covered, it's time for the really fun part, adding some personality. And honestly, talking about your family or pets is a fantastic way to make your introduction memorable and build a real connection. Look how Paul and Emily talk about their families. It's short and sweet, but it's so interesting. Paul's family sounds super creative. You've got a writer and a musician. And Emily's dad is a chef? Wow, that's a great conversation starter. It just begs you to ask more questions. See? You don't need a whole life story, just one interesting detail. And this is so clever, you know? It's like a psychological shortcut. A pet can instantly tell you something about a person's personality. Paul's friendly dog, Max? He probably sounds pretty active and outgoing, right? And Emily's quiet cat, Luna? Maybe she's more calm and independent. It's just fascinating how one tiny detail can say so much. Now, for my favorite part, sharing what you like, and yeah, even what you don't like, is pretty much the fastest way to show who you really are and find something in common with someone new. I mean, this table just paints such a clear picture, doesn't it? You can see Paul is active, rock music, soccer, and Emily, she's more creative, painting and reading. But check out the dislikes. Knowing Paul hates olives or that Emily is not a morning person, that's what makes them feel like real people you could actually know. It makes them relatable. And look how easy it is to put it all together. Paul could just say this one sentence. It's short, it's friendly, and it tells you a surprising amount about who he is. It's like a perfect little mini introduction. Okay, this is the most important part, so listen up. You don't say all of this at once. Can you imagine? It would go on forever. No, the real secret, the real trick is choosing the right building blocks for the right situation. This is a perfect example of how to adapt. In a new class, you'd probably focus on why you're there, just like Paul does. But at a party, you'd want to share your hobbies, to start a fun conversation, the way Emily does. It's all about knowing your audience. And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway here. Tell me about yourself isn't some big, scary test you can fail. It's an opportunity. It's really just an open invitation for you to share a small, interesting piece of who you are. So now, it's your turn. I want you to take these building blocks and just think about it for a second. Your job, your hobbies, your family, what you like, what you don't like. Because the next time someone asks, you're going to be ready. You get to choose the first chapter of your own story. So, what story are you going to tell?